This episode of the Nerf Herder Council is brought to you by Audible. Visit audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download.
Hi, this is Joseph Williams, son of John Williams, and you are watching the Nerf Herder Council.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking Nerf herder!
You can't use that word. Only we can use that word.
You're tuned in to the Nerf Herder Council, your source for Star Wars opinion, conversation, and debate. Featuring your hosts, JT.
Stormtrooper armor deflects everything except Orback hooves. They're like a horse version of Thomas the Tank Engine.
AJ.
Yeah, Rebels is a lot like our show, where we think we have a good idea and then it just fails in execution.
Steve.
The vacuum of space does crazy things to your beehole out there, man.
On this episode of the Nerf Herder Council, have you ever noticed that some of the franchises we love the best are mostly loaded with crap? Well, we have too, so on this episode, that's what we're talking about.
This is the Nerf Herder Council.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. I am your host, JT. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are live at those three locations every other Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. If you would like to get some customizable Nerf Herder Council swag, just go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. Let me bring on my esteemed co-hosts, AJ and Steve. What is going on, guys?
What up?
Hey, what's going on?
Not a lot. I got to say, I love the backgrounds you're coming up with, man, because I do have to say, the first thing I thought of with the, as I almost burp in the mic, the first thing I thought of looking at it was, the lettering on the top, I thought of the Judas Priest Painkiller album, which is an awesome record. So I was like, sweet Painkiller. Yeah, that was pretty cool. All right. So real quick, bit of nerd stuff to take care of here. The Batman is officially coming out this week. Are any of us going to see it?
You know, that was one of our backup topics for tonight was Marvel and DC, and we all kind of shrugged our shoulders at anything DC, didn't we?
Yeah. I
can't imagine why.
I have some friends that got like fan passes or something, and they've seen it. Like, this is the Batman I always wanted. It's like if you combine Seven with Batman. I'm like, cool, yeah, that's because that's what I want to see in the comic books is like some guy that's supposed to be like a crime fighter, but it's like dark and stuff like that. Like, I'd buy in if they had what's in the box? What's in the box? Just put that in Batman. Like cut out Catwoman's head or something.
I feel like inevitably once this thing hits HBO Max in about a week, I will probably watch it at that point. But no, I'm not. Like, when I saw the trailer and I saw that Catwoman literally just looks like the guy from the old Fat Albert cartoon with the hat pulled over her face and the eye holes cut out of it, I was like, I can't take this seriously. Like, what the hell is this? So yeah, Batman's driving around in a 72 Camaro and Catwoman has a knit cap pulled over her head with the eye holes cut out.
Right.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I can't get behind yet another Batman. I can't do it. I'm like, well, you just pick one and stick with it for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
There's 74 Bruce Waynes out there. It's just, it's weird. It's not fun.
Sorry. I don't know what's with my camera focus tonight, guys. But anyway, we're actually getting 3 different Batman this year.
What?
Yeah, we got the Robert Pattinson one coming out, The Batman.
Right.
We've got Michael Keaton showing up as Batman. Yeah, for real. In the
He's
Flash.
supposed to be in the Flash. Yeah.
And Ben Affleck is reprising his role for some other, I don't know, whatever, Justice League continuity movie.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
I thought
if you're
I
not
read
confused
that.
enough yet, you're going to be totally lost by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but see, that's the thing is that like that, like we'll probably do it on a future episode if we educate ourselves a little more. I mean, this is why Marvel gets it right. Like they had 3 Spider-Men and they're like, okay, they got one and stuck with it.
Right.
Once the MCU really started ramping up, and then they put all 3 in the same movie, and it was cool. It wasn't like some force fed, Cam McLeish. There are now more Batmen than Bonds.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's probably
But it's
true.
like, I'll even give Marvel
Can we get
a
Val
pass.
Kilmer back in the suit?
With the
Why
nipples.
not? Batman nipples, yeah.
Or was it?
I'll give Marvel a pass just because all those other movies came out under Sony and they kind of had all the different Spider-Men, where Marvel itself really just had the one, but they were kind of playing fan service. Like DC is, like AJ said, you're putting 3 different Bruce Waynes on screen this year alone. Like, could you imagine like Captain America 4 coming out and Captain America and Winter Soldier comes out and some random third Marvel show and it's 3 different versions of Captain America? Like, no, it would be fucking ridiculous. So,
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they think it's a good idea to do this crap. DC's trash. I'm sorry.
When I think of the Batman movies, I just picture the stunt doubles in Spaceballs. I don't know why. It's just this dumpy half-ass version. Like, just
and
stick
honestly,
with the original, man.
Like, not to like make this the topic for the night, because I know it's not, but like, I wanted to give DC so much credit after James Gunn did what he did with Suicide Squad and the Peacemaker series, and like right when I want to give them credit for something, they go and do something stupid to take it right back again.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on from Batman, some quick Star Wars stuff. I guess that it was confirmed that they're going to be de-aging Hayden Christensen in the Kenobi series. So they're actually going to, show him as a younger version. Why that was news, I don't know. Maybe by de-aging, that means that they're not going to have him burned. He's just going to look
Maybe.
like he looks like today, like, because if he was younger, he wasn't a crispy critter. So, like,
Yeah, right.
so like, okay, how is this news, man? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Other short mini Star Wars news. Alan Ladd passed away today. The guy that worked at 20th Century Fox at greenlit.
Really?
Yeah, he greenlit the whole Star Wars saga. I think he died on like Tuesday, but the news just jumped on it today. So,
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, I remember him from the Empire of Dreams documentary that I basically have memorized. So
yeah,
that
he
kind
did
of sucks.
Got a Young Frankenstein, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Blade Runner. Like the guy Braveheart. The guy kind of knocked out his career there. That's for sure.
He's done a few things.
Yeah,
That
Guy
reminds me.
made a couple of bucks in his career, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, that reminds me. I started Blade Runner again on Netflix, and I got to finish that. Thanks for the reminder. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate that. So, and obviously, there's the Knights of the Old Republic. They dropped a 4K trailer, so video game fans are hyped about that. So that's cool. But that is not what we are here to talk about. We are here. So I owe you guys an apology. I kind of changed the topic. I twisted the topic a little bit on the fly. So we were going to talk about, franchises that, where
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Yeah.
Keep talking.
I realized that what we had originally discussed, it kind of, we were talking about franchises that now they all of a sudden, like, they can't really make a good movie, and they've been around for a while. And when I thought of our 3 main examples, I was like, well, they've been mostly shit the whole time. So I thought, maybe It would be better phrased if we said these franchises that are iconic in our minds, but when you really look down the roster of what product they've put out, it's mostly garbage. So I tweaked it a little bit because I realized when I was saying it out loud that it was coming out differently. So
movies that are the Guns N' Roses of cinema. Got it.
Movies that are the Chinese democracy of cinema.
See, Guns N' Roses I don't think is really fair because they had have had 6 studio albums, one of which is all covers, the other of which is basically an EP, 2 EPs glued together. And I don't think that counts. It's close though. So you're not I'm not going to say that you're wrong.
The best album by a mile is their first one.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you could say that about
Don't
a lot
give me
of
that
bands.
Use Your Illusion crap.
I'm not saying they're better than Appetite. Almost nothing's better than Appetite. But what I am saying is that the Use Your Illusion records are pretty good. I'll actually be doing a Patreon segment for our buddies in discography discussion discussing the Guns N' Roses catalog pretty soon. So that'll be kind of fun because I'm not the biggest fan of Use Your Illusion 1, but you know. So anyways, back on topic. We had 3 main examples to bring to the table tonight, and I think one kind of stands out more than any other. We were thinking of the Terminator franchise, and we were thinking of the Predator franchise, and we were thinking of the Alien franchise. And I would have to say, I don't know if you guys agree
vetoed
with me.
Police Academy?
Dude, Police Academy 1 through at least 4 are great. I mean, come on.
The first
maybe
16
5
films in the franchise are pretty good, AJ, all right?
All right,
You didn't
yeah.
love Mission to Moscow? Come on now. I know what I wanted to add to the list. Land Before Time.
Oh, geez.
Ice Age. Minions. There's a lot of animated crap. Anyway, that was unrehearsed. I just realized I could riff on animated movies that sucked after the first one or two.
No, I would you guys agree with me that Predator is probably the biggest offender here of our 3 main topic franchises? I mean, the first one is awesome, and the rest is pretty much like,
Yeah, because off the top of my head, I'm like, okay, the 3 of them, obviously the first 2 Terminators were good. Like, all the Aliens were pretty good, kinda. They're tolerable, but yeah, Predator. So yeah, first one's there, and then the rest of them are.
Kale brings up one that I personally don't agree with, so I'll have to leave it up to you guys. He says, "What about The Matrix?" And I'm sorry, but I love The Matrix. So if that one comes up, it's our buddy Nick Hartley. What's up, man? Nick Hartley says, "I'll die on this hill. Predator 2 was good." Yeah, well, you might be the only one on that hill, buddy.
It's a lonely hill.
Exactly.
Lethal Weapon versus Predator. What can go wrong?
Oh, I didn't even like Lethal Weapon 1. That's a hill that I might. But then again, I hate.
Hey, maybe that's another franchise. Yeah.
I hate Mel Gibson. Danny Glover just has always seemed to me to be one of those actors like when you're kind of out of budget. You need somebody whose name is known, but just feels as generic as hell. Like he's always seemed like that actor that's like, where you want to watch Top Gun, but all you have is a copy of Iron Eagle, so you're like, I guess I'll watch that. He seems like that in an actor,
As you said that, I just pictured to go back to the horror conversation, I just picture his role in the first Saw movie, and I was just like, why is he here?
Right.
Like, he was literally there so they could put Danny Glover's name on the poster and sell this movie.
Exactly.
Machete 2. What about that? Yay or nay?
I'm going to, I hate to admit this, I haven't seen any of the Machete movies. And I love Danny Trejo. I'll watch pretty much anything with Danny Trejo in it. So, I haven't.
You want a good, shitty movie, that's the way to go, man.
I love those.
Those things are good. They're stupid as hell, but they're entertaining.
And as to Kale's take on The Matrix, I'm sorry. I'll let you guys hash that out as to whether or not it counts. because
No.
I love them.
I can honestly say and we know this from years of doing podcasting, and you guys known me for 20 years. I'm not that bright. So when I first watched The Matrix, my dumb ass was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I really don't. But I still enjoy the movies. And honestly, I'm one of the few people that think the new one was pretty damn good. Like the internet shit all over that. And I'm like, that was pretty damn good. I don't get it.
Well, there you go. So Kale, we have AJ's vote doesn't count because he's already outvoted. Even if he votes, that it counts because it's 2 votes to 1. So that means that the hosts have vetoed your Matrix idea. But Nick Hartley's back to Predator 2. He says, always thought the idea of Gary Busey's character being played by Arnold as Dutch would have been really the right idea. That's the way it was written.
I never knew that was a thing.
I didn't either.
There's your connective tissue.
Yeah.
I just thought the producers assumed that the creature was the hook, not Arnold's character.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I missed one of the Alien versus Predator movies, and it's kind of like I only watch those anyway just to see the aliens, because I have to be completely honest. Like, we brought up Aliens, the Alien franchise, because AJ, you said you brought that one up, and I might argue with you on that. So
okay, well, let's go franchise by franchise then. Which one do you want to start with? We'll run down the movies and see where the quality went.
Well, why don't we start with Predator, since we're already on that? And I a lot of these, like, I know I forget some movies because it was just so crappy that, like, I saw it was like zip out of my head.
Unfortunately, I'm online
honest
right now, so I'm looking them up.
Dude, I just Googled it right now. I had no idea that there was 4 of them.
I thought there was a 5th, actually. I think
That's
still
what
making
I thought too. Yeah.
Oh, unless you count the Alien versus Predator. When I Googled it, it says Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and the Predator. So,
what's different about this? We added a "the" in front of it.
We added a 2, then we added an S, and then we took the S away and put the word "the."
It's like Tron Legacy.
Like
what's different? We put a 9 on the box.
It's like building a Death Star and then a bigger Death Star and then an even bigger Death Star.
Oh my gosh! All right, so Kale's on board with saying the first 2 were good. And he also said that he liked the most recent Predators.
Well, according to Google, Predators was 2010 and The Predator was 2018.
So I've seen the first 3, but not the 4th.
Okay. Nick Hartley said that Predator 2 also
looking at the cast, it tells me we're not missing anything with the 2018 version.
Oh, I just thought of another one. Well, I'll bring it up later.
Wait a minute. I just saw one of the characters in the 2018 Predator is Dutch, so they recast Arnold's part.
See, that plays into what I was just gonna. All right, so Nick said Predator 2 also set that seed. An alien skull is seen in the trophy room. It started it all. Yep, that's true. It's true.
That was a cool little Easter egg before Easter eggs were even a thing.
I thought that was stupid. Yeah. I'm like, for some reason, I just thought, like, why would they do that? If because people had said, like, oh, what if they fight? Like, and I'm like, man, don't do that. When they combine 2 franchises like that, I think it's so dumb. Like, as entertaining as Freddy versus Jason was, it is kind of stupid. I don't like because you root for the bad guy, and then when both bad guys are fighting, you're like, well, crap. Like, so this sucks.
Yeah.
Well, see, I think they had something there because the comics were so popular. Like, they first mashed them up in the comics. Like, I mean, shit, man. True. You've had Batman versus Predator. You've had, I think, Transformers versus Aliens. Like,
yeah.
Mashups in comic books are like all the rage. But the Alien versus Predator comics, as I recall, were like really well received.
Yeah.
Basically, Earth was the battleground. So, like, the humans were just caught in the middle. Like, what the fuck do we do now? Like,
they're getting mowed down.
Right?
Nick Hartley, the Predator couldn't hold Predator's sack. Yeah, man.
Wow. This is in 2018, that movie made $24.6 million in its first week domestically.
Really?
Okay, so this is what they do with these. This is what they do with these. They get these old franchises that everyone wants to be good. They get these franchises everybody wants to be good and wants to give them a chance, and then they base all the marketing around like, this is the one you've been waiting for. This is the return to form.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you go and you say like Arnold's character is going to be in it, and it's going to go back to basics, back to the original formula. You know, it's like a Motley Crue tour. I'm good with the music references tonight. Anyway, like they always hook you with this crap.
24.7.
I'm trying to stay focused on Predator, but Terminator did the exact same thing, and Alien did the exact same thing.
24.7.
People are like, I'm not listening anymore.
24/7 in the first week, and then week 2 it was 9.1 million. It dropped 63% in the first week.
Reviews must have hit.
Yeah, right.
You're always going to have those hardcores that are like storming the theater in the first week, and then word gets out, and everyone else is like, "Hell no,
Yeah, I'm staying away." Yep. Man, that
rough.
is a big drop.
That's rough.
I wonder what else came out that weekend to where it had a pretty reasonable opening weekend.
Actually, let me.
Cale McLeod.
Cats.
Back to formula in Willem Dafoe voice.
That's awesome. I know I saw it. It's the combination of Venom and A Star Is Born dominated that week that movie came out. So you had
24
Venom.
mil is not a bad haul against that competition.
So Venom made 80.2, and A Star Is Born made 43, and they made. I think that's week 2. So Venom made 80 in week 2. Star Is Born made 42.9 in week 2, while this one made 9.1.
Yeah, I would say the reviews got a hold of that.
Yeah. And then the fourth week it says it made 947,000. They didn't even break 1 million after the first month.
I know. Oh. Yeah, Nick Hartley says, further to your point, though, the Stan Winston Holy Trinity all get crappy past the first 2. Yeah. Yeah. I just, like I say, I didn't like any of them after the original. Right. I just was not a fan.
And like to AJ's point, I remember by the time I actually watched it, I had no idea that Arnold was like the main character. Like when the movie's called Predator, I kind of thought, the bad guy was the focal point, and it wasn't. And it was actually for young me watching that in the early 90s. I was like, it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, you're like, what the hell?
I just remember the alien was cool and he had neon green blood.
Right.
And I remember the little triangle crosshair thing. Like, I don't know why that stuck. I was just like, that was cool as hell back in the day. I don't care.
Yep. So I thought and this is kind of like not our main 3, but kind of like piggybacking on our horror show we did last episode 2 weeks ago. I just remembered a perfect example for this topic. Hellraiser. The first 2 are awesome, and after that they're just horrible. I mean, they got that one, I think it might even be the most recent one, where they've got like another guy playing it's either the most recent one or the one before that. They got some other guy playing Pinhead, and he's like chubby. It'd be like putting me in the costume.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's bad.
God, I didn't even know about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 fucking Hellraiser movies.
Yep. I watched.
Oh yeah, they went straight to DVD, and they just. Oh God.
Wow.
I watched. Yeah, dude,
the Sharknado route in a hurry.
Dude, one of them is called Deader. It's not even a word.
Even Hellraiser's on the cover going.
Right. Hellraiser 11, Corpseer.
Yeah, God,
I love those first
I'm just
two.
learning. I'm learning new things today. I had no idea between yesterday not knowing that there were that many Terminator movies, having no clue that there was 4 Predator movies, and not knowing that there was 147 Hellraiser movies. I'm learning new things like on a daily basis now. This is amazing.
I'm trying to remember which one it was. I watched the beginning and I was like, okay, they're totally pandering to the male horror audience because I had this really gory death and vomit and like naked chicks. And I was like, okay, so this is gross and, you know, kind of back to the sexual element of Hellraiser, like this is cool, whatever. And then after that, it's just trash. I'm like, what, like all your good ideas you crammed in like the first 5 minutes before the credits or something?
Well, they started naming them all like there were 1990s WWF in your house pay-per-views.
Right.
Hell on Earth, Bloodline, Inferno, Hellseeker, Deader, Hellworld, Revelations, and Judgment.
Those are pay-per-view names.
It's literally in your house pay-per-view names. To see Hellraiser take a tumble off of the top of the Hell in the Cell during Revelations.
We need to
oh my God, he killed him! Hellraiser's got a family.
We just need to do an episode coming up and list a title and play a game: Hellraiser film or in your house pay-per-view.
Let's just start. We're just going to start naming our podcasts like WWF pay-per-views from the mid-90s.
That would be phenomenal. Oh my God, that would be so good.
It's fantastic.
All right. So back on topic, and we'll get to the next franchise here. God, I'm crying. Nick Hartley brings up a good segue. He says Aliens is arguably the best sequel, save for The Empire Strikes Back. I would have to think on that, but I can't say you're wrong off the top of my head.
It's going up against Judgment Day.
Oh, sorry, Nick. He just disproved you, because if I had to watch one of the two, I'm watching T2. It's a close one, but I'm watching T2. That's another one I just watched on Netflix.
Star Trek Wrath of Khan.
Oh, well, now we're talking about...
That's the original Star Trek movie. Come on.
Well, now we're talking about sequels that smoke the original. That's a whole nother topic. Yeah, the Alien franchise, this is where it gets kind of interesting. And I'll be interested to hear your take, Steve, because Alien 3 and Alien 4 were kind of
Right.
But I've liked the two newest ones. I mean, the Alien versus Predator movies are crap, but
right. Well, as you're saying that, one, Alien 4 had an in your house pay-per-view name. It was Resurrection. But now you might correct me if I'm wrong here. I Googled the Alien movie franchise and it's got Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Resurrection, and then Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus, and then
so that was okay. So that was technically an Alien movie. I honestly had no idea.
Yeah. Honestly, the story of that one kind of confuses me. Like, okay, like the really muscular, like plastic looking, the engineers or whatever the hell they are, like the goo, like he drinks the goo and then all of a sudden life. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Let's say I really had no idea that Prometheus was an Alien movie. So
yeah,
Well, you could tell in the sequel to that clearly the studio got involved and they're like, dude, you're marketing it as an Alien movie, but we haven't seen a single friggin' alien. So alien it up, please.
Yeah.
and I never even knew Covenant was a 2017. Like, Jesus, yep. I sure as hell never saw that. Wow.
Yeah, that was, dude, I like it.
It was supposed to be a trilogy, but they just it wasn't received well enough to get the green light for the finale, I guess.
Fair enough.
I was so confused in that last one. JT, did you understand Covenant?
Basically, all I really needed to get out of it is that the android, David is David. Yeah. See, I like these movies, but I don't remember them too well because I was just into the feel of them. But yeah, he basically has all like the alien embryos and with the human embryos, so he's gonna F everything up he killed all the humans and stuff like that. So,
and then there was like a good David and a bad David.
Yeah.
And maybe whatever humans survived from Covenant, like, was she even in, or survived Prometheus? Was she even in the second one?
Who is that? David?
Elizabeth someone. There was one survivor from Prometheus.
It says Elizabeth Shaw was in Covenant.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. So
God,
she
it's
did
been
make
a long
it in there,
time
but she
since I've
died
seen
like
that.
real early on, didn't she?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Look, Nick Hartley. Both T2 and Aliens were directed by James Cameron. I'll accept half credit. Oh, it's our buddy Thrasher, man. He says, "What's up, fellas? Aliens was awesome. Big fan. If Aliens and T2 were on TV at the same time, I'm going Aliens, honestly. Love T2, though." All right, well, there we go. We might have a movie cage match coming up. Aliens versus T2 Judgment Day. Cale McLeish, and then Alien, Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
I think what makes Aliens and Terminator 2 so good is like they actually did a different style of movie with the same characters. Like Alien is just straight up a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, I love that video game. What's that video game called, JT?
Alien.
Isolation.
Oh my! Thank you. I couldn't
Alien
finish
Isolation.
that damn
thing is
game.
amazing.
I couldn't.
But yeah,
finish
it's like that. It's a horror movie. It's a straight up horror movie. You got one alien who just stalks everyone, right?
Yep.
The second one is an action movie. It's not a horror movie.
I completely agree with that. I mean, it's still got
Terminator 2, same thing. The first one was schlocky horror, like sci-fi B movie level stuff, and then the second one was big action movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's our buddy Sean Hines. What's up, Sean? He says it was revealed in Covenant that David killed that survivor between films. That's right. Thank you for correcting me. I love
another
that
hallmark
movie,
of the series.
Yeah, right.
You had Kyle Reese. I forget what his actual character was in Aliens. He gets off the planet. What the hell was his actual character's name? It wasn't Kyle Reese from Terminator, but it was the same actor.
Marine alien fodder or whatever.
Right. So he survives and Newt survives, and then they both died was it even shown in the credits of Alien 3, or was it just like explained away in like prologue or something?
Yeah, that's the one that I never rewatch.
Hicks, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, as soon as they had the dog alien, I'm like, all right, you killed a dog. Fuck you. there will be no dog death in the movies that I watch. That is just not, and also it wasn't very good.
Did I lose my internet again?
No, you're still here. Nope. No, you're not. You're gone.
You did, and it's a great freeze frame, the stoned freeze frame.
You might be doing solo in a minute, man, because I told you my internet's been spotty too.
Sounds good to me, man. Oh, there you are, Steve. Let's see.
He's back. He's barely back, but he's kind of back.
Yeah. But AJ, I got to tell you, man, like I really dig the Alien movies. The only one, like I said, that I really wasn't into.
I'm back. I don't know where these guys went.
He's talking. And
so he doesn't know he's on.
Yeah.
There we go. We lost him.
There he goes. We'll remove him. We'll wait for him to come back.
All right.
Look at Sean. Sean says, "Don't watch Marley and Me then, John." Dude, Sean, I read the book like the second it came out. I saw it on a display at the mall across the street from where I worked, and I read it, cried like a baby. I went out on a date with a girl when that movie came out, and even though I knew it was coming, I was full on like Death in the Family sobbing, dude. It was bad.
That was me too.
That was bad.
That was horrible because that came out at Christmas time. I was up here visiting from Florida, and I had left Jake back in Florida.
Yep.
So I didn't even have my dog with him. Like, I just want to hug Jake.
Yep. I remember reading the book, and then we'll get back on topic, but what got me was like when Marley actually passes, and then he goes into the chapter about how he got a whole bunch of letters from people like, because he wrote a column about Marley passing for the newspaper he was working for. And the next chapter is how he got all these responses like, I lost my buddy Joe, and this, that, and the other, and all these stories about how they could relate to what he was talking about. Well, this is when I had my there's Steve. Fuck my internet. But yeah, this is when I had my dog Chewy, who is like the best buddy I've ever had. And right as I calmed down from like crying my eyes out. A letter. He's like, yeah, the next letter's from so and so. Yeah, I lost my best buddy Chewie 2 weeks ago. And I was like, no, Chewie, don't go anywhere.
Holy
don't
fuck!
Ever die.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so
insane.
I was like, don't you go anywhere, Chewie. I'll be so mad at you. But so anyways, all right. So the Alien movies again, I mean, I thought Resurrection was kind of cool. I mean, it did have that scene with all the failed like clones that were just all jacked up. That was gross, but it was badass. So that was cool. And then, you know, some cool scenes in the escape and everything like that. And, you know, the thing that was always cool to me about that one is how you actually, they managed to get a little bit of humanity into the xenomorph because, you know, when it was bred with the human, like it had kind of the sad face when it was like getting sucked out of the ship. I was like, wow, holy crap. Like for a second there, I felt bad for that thing. Like it's a baby getting just destroyed. I'm like, all right, wow.
Yeah. Gruesome. And it took a long ass time too.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
there was some good stuff in there. I don't know. See, they both kind of got weird and crappy, and fans started to hate those movies. But they went two different routes. Like Predator, everyone complained because the second movie didn't have Arnold, and you know the filmmakers were like, well, "We've got the Predator. It's called Predator, so that's what needs to be in the movie, not Arnold Schwarzenegger." But then Alien goes the other way, and like Sigourney Weaver has to be in every single movie. I'm like, but it makes no sense. Like you killed her in the third one, and then you had to clone her in the fourth one. Like what the fuck, man?
Well, see, but I would go ahead. Sorry,
but you know, so like they went the opposite route where the creature couldn't carry the franchise, or so they thought.
Yeah.
And they both kind of ended up sucking. So I'm not really sure what the magic sauce is.
I think that Ripley is kind of necessary. I think it kind of, her character kind of gives it that humanity because she is the good guy. So it's kind of like, in a way, it's like her story. She keeps getting screwed. And, oh, look, Steve's back. What in the dude,
I swear to God, 2 weeks ago it did it. Yesterday it was down for like 5 fucking hours, and now it does that again. Like Jesus Christ, man! I'm glad I
pay way too much for a connection that bad.
I pay way too much for an internet connection like this.
So tell everybody to turn their Wi-Fi off when we're doing the Nerf Herder Council. F your household for an hour and 15 minutes.
Nobody's even here. It's just me.
So back to my point, but Jesus. Like, yeah, I think Ripley is kind of like the humanity, and she does kind of anchor it because I think you kind of see in the two newer movies without like that familiar character in there, you're not as invested in it. I think, you know, it's like when she's in there, you know that she's basically been getting brutalized by these things for years. And so it's like, okay, like there's something more to the story than just xenomorphs have acid blood and they're kicking ass. So I think I kind of think that that's good.
I obviously missed part of the conversation, but are you just talking as why the first two Alien movies were the only good ones?
No, we're
kind of comparing about how like Predator decided that the Predator itself could carry the franchise, and Aliens is like, no, we need Ripley to carry the franchise.
Yeah, okay.
Steve's like, yeah, like you missed part of the.
Like what you were saying about Ripley and stuff. It's like, okay, once you get into all these movies that she's not there, it was kind of. And I know I missed 2 of them also, but still, like it was just kind of odd after that.
Yeah, I wish they would have just stopped after the third one though, because that made, like, to your point, JT, like the first one, she's scared shitless of the thing, as she should be. The second one, she's a badass because she's like, I'm not putting up with this crap again. I've seen this before. Mm-hmm. And then the third one, she's just apoplectic. Yeah, because she thought it was over, and she's like thrown back into it and stuck with it. So she's like, fine, I'll just die.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's a decent trilogy that way. And they're like, no, you're back as a clone now. And by the way, we have a half human alien that's got your DNA.
Yep. Dude, it's just the lazy script writing in Hollywood. It's the same reason why in Terminator they felt the need to bring what's her name back into it. Shit, I forgot her name.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Linda Hamilton.
It's like you're there, gone. Oh, she's back again.
Yeah, like if you look at our setup here, we've got a metal robot in the lower right hand corner. That's the Terminator. It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but Arnold Schwarzenegger has to crop up in the first one, in the second one, in the third one. He's CG'd in the fourth one.
Yeah,
remember that little blip?
Oh yeah.
Is he in the fifth one? I forget. That's that weird
Genesis.
one where they made Terminator.
No, Salvation.
Salvation was 4. Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis is the fifth one.
Oh,
where they ruined the big twist of the entire movie by showing that John Connor was the Terminator.
Yeah, right.
Like that was in the trailer. Like the most brain twisting thing was right there. Spoiled before
Arnold's listed in the cast of Genesis, so. Yeah, I guess so.
I thought he was in there a little bit. So real quick, a couple.
I think he might have made a cameo as not the Terminator.
Maybe. Was that the one where he was like the old man?
Yeah, it was like a Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So, real quick, but I got a couple comments I want to pull up here in the chat. But is that AJ? Is that the first segue Steve has done in the history of the show?
That could be.
That might be Steve's first ever segue. All right, guys,
be professional about it,
guys. Raise them up, boys. Yeah. This is just water, but still.
Yeah, tune in 2028, guys, as Steve makes his second.
If you're fucking lucky.
Yeah, right. So, all right, so. Nick Hartley says in relation to Predator and Alien, he says, it's the creature design of both franchises for me. Sean chimed in regarding our discussion of Ripley, said, otherwise, it's just a Friday the 13th movie where you just get a new drop of people taking their turn getting killed. And then Kale says, bringing up Marley and Me and then Alien characters is unfair. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. So Kale corrected us, but see, this is how bad these movies are. We're not even remembering them. Kale says he's all throughout Genesis, meaning Arnold. Robert Patrick was the Stan Lee cameo as Man in the Comfy Chair. All right.
Damn.
Yeah,
okay. I only saw that movie once, and I wish it had been 0. So
I tried 3 times and fell asleep in a different spot each of the 3 times, and I got the crux of everything, and I'm just like, what the hell? I mean,
is there anything worse you can say about an action movie than you fell asleep in it?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, this is kind of like Hellraiser, where there's a bunch of them and the first 2 are just amazing and the rest are terrible. I mean, the third one, I guess, is okay, but I mean, Salvation was just cool because it's all the robot fighting. I mean, if you're into that part of the story, then that was cool. And Genesis was just abysmal. And I honestly, I have not seen Dark Fate yet, but I think that's because I'm nervous to watch it because I
think you'll like it.
Well, but here's the thing. I'm afraid of hypocrisy on my part because I piss all over The Force Awakens because it's just a New Hope rehash. But everything everybody says is that basically Dark Fate is a rehash of like the first and second Terminator movies. It's like nothing new.
Every Terminator movie is a rehash of Terminator 2. That's the thing. Like, as soon as Terminator 2 happened, they just, another music reference. It's Breaking Benjamin. As soon as you hit your formula, you just write that all the time.
It's the AC/DC of franchises. Like, I just, that's the one thing is like, I wonder, like, well, what more can you really do? Because it's, okay, well, if you're the robots, you just be like, well, that didn't work. Let's send them back again. All right, let's just keep sending them back until he you know, keep sending those damn Terminators back until they kill this a-hole. You know?
Okay, hold on a second. This ties into another show idea that we might do at some point.
Okay.
So I got to give you the elevator pitch of why you'll enjoy Dark Fate.
Okay, well, Kale says, John, don't. AJ is lying. You won't like it. Dark Fate is awful.
Okay, so let me explain. Let me explain why I think you're going to like it. Actually, I can ask you, what do you like about Terminator movies? What are you watching for?
Holy crap! I've never thought about it.
Jesus Christ! I'm trying to watch the trailer here, and Sarah Connor looks like fucking 1992 Michael Jackson. God, she looks horrible. Wow.
Okay,
this looks so bad. It looks so bad.
I'll fill this in for you, JT. you watch Terminator movies for near indestructible robots beating the shit out of each other and a bunch of crap getting blown up, right? You just want to see robot fights, insane robot fights.
Not me, but go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, no. That's why Salvation didn't really do it for me, because I like the the Terminator's basically almost insurmountable thing, and it's like I like seeing how they try and figure out how to kill it. And
see, you could tell this movie was bad because they had to advertise in the trailer that James Cameron was the producer and that the director was the director of Deadpool. So you're really throwing the breadcrumbs out there, hoping for the best.
The breadcrumbs.
Well, yeah, that's them dipping back into the pool. They're like, hey, we got Linda Hamilton back. We got Arnold back. We got James Cameron back. It's everybody you love from Terminator 2. Come see our movie.
Yep.
God, even that 2.5-minute trailer was too much of that movie. Jesus.
Well, see, that's
Terminator started as a schlocky B movie franchise to begin with, so I don't mind seeing schlocky B movie level crap. Hell,
I actually thought started
Terminator
like that.
3 was okay, minus the awful humor that they made Arnold do. Well, like the notion that the whole twist was like you were never supposed to stop Judgment Day, you were just supposed to survive it. I was like, holy crap! Well, when they end up in just an empty bunker at the end, I was like, oh my god, the whole thing has been a ruse.
Well, I like that part of it. I just wonder. I've always wondered about the Rise of the Machines. Like, is it that bad? Or is it just considered that bad because it comes off the heels of one of the greatest action movies ever made? I mean, T2 is a perfect movie. I defy anyone to find a flaw in that movie. It's just fantastic.
People also bitch about the constant recasting.
Well, yeah. I mean,
John Connor's been played by a different actor in every movie.
Yeah.
And we cycle back to the Batmans again.
I was gonna say. Yeah, I just they just need to put that franchise out of its misery because they don't have any new ideas. So just have like the new one be a short, have it be like 5 minutes long, and the robots just send like 100 Terminators back at once and just lay fucking waste to everything until it like they just go to the hospital. And they just and go in the maternity ward and just destroy the maternity ward, kill every baby in the hospital, and then roll credits. And that's actually the end, and the machines win. Just like enough. Like, come on now.
That's the biggest problem with the logic in the Terminator franchise. You're right, Sean.
Yep.
Absolutely. Keys left in the visor.
Yep.
Yeah, right. I don't know anyone who's ever done that.
Okay. Yeah, Sean Hines says, keys left in the visor is a big flaw. Who the F does that? Man, yeah, Nick Hartley, he liked it. He said, I enjoyed Reese and John Connor meeting. And the dynamic of meeting someone you know will end up being your father, but only if you complete the mission and get him sent back in time. I mean, yeah, they have cool aspects, but overall, it's just like, ugh. I mean, they're just not good.
Yeah.
But then again, like, I mean, I think the first Terminator is awesome. You know, Cale McLeish, send a nuke in a skin suit. Boom. Pretty much. I mean, why not? Just blow up all of Los Angeles. Don't even go after people. Just like go back there. Just nuke all of LA and be like, all right, we got him.
Oh, that's weird. I'm watching the Genesis trailer too, and like Arnold without the skin on, the actual Terminator Raw.
And he's gone again.
Features.
Skynet
so
got him.
It looks like looks like Arnold. Like, that's weird.
Yeah. I don't think we heard your complete point, by the way. Because you froze.
I was just saying how the Terminator in Genesis, like without the skin, looks like Arnold still. Like they gave it his facial features. I'm just like, ugh, that's weird.
They got lazy on the skin grafting, so they're like, just make the metal shaped like him.
Exactly.
Then we can just dump skin on it. No. There's the Thrasher. Bring Michael Biehn back. Yeah, Kyle Reese. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I had to rank these franchises right now, I would say from worst to best, I would say the worst would be Predator. The middle of the road one would be Terminator, and then I would definitely say that I would put Alien on top because I like
agree
that
with
kind of
that.
stuff. I think at least the Alien movies kind of like retain the same tone. That bleak,
but you're forgetting the
futuristic-
Alien versus Predator movies. So where do those fit? You classify those as Predator movies or Alien movies, or did they just drag down both franchises?
I honestly, if I was to consider, I would consider them a Predator movie. I've always seen them more as a Predator movie because there was more, the Predators are hunting the aliens. It just something, and the feel of them is much more in the action vein more than the thriller / horror vein of Alien. So I've always kind of pictured them as Predator movies. So, I mean, if you want to include them in both, that's fine. I mean, my point still stands. Those movies are pretty shitty, and so they have the same
at the end of the day, it's like
franchises.
Like you said earlier, Alien was a horror movie, and then it turned like the Alien versus Predator movies were all action movies. Well, both were action movies. So, and honestly, I think that's why I agree with your ranking, John, because the initial horror movie of Alien, I think, outdoes T2 and outdoes all of the Predators. Well, at least the couple that I've watched. I didn't know there was 5 of them, or 4 of them. So.
There's a 5th coming this year. It's called Prey. That's real.
No,
seriously.
God.
So they had Predator, then they had the Predator, then they had Predators. Now it's Prey.
Yep.
What about what about the Predator? Just add another
the Prey.
Yeah, that's going to be the next one. and then it's going to be praise. It's not even a word, man. like Hellraiser Deader. It's not even a word.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, this is going to be great. A concept that they wrote in 2016, fast-tracked into development, even though it hasn't done a damn thing since January of 2020.
Right.
So yeah, this thing's gonna nail it in the theaters. I'm sure of that.
So did we? I feel like we were just about to touch on a franchise that we missed earlier. We were talking about something, but can you guys think of any others that
RoboCop?
Oh yeah, that's a perfect one.
Okay.
Yes.
Were any of those good though?
Oh come on, the first RoboCop is amazing. Are you kidding me?
I didn't realize this until recently.
Yes.
But do you know the name of the director of the first RoboCop?
It was that Paul Verhoeven guy, wasn't it?
Yes. And you know what other movie I love who I didn't know directed it until recently? Starship Troopers.
Okay.
Can't you totally see that now? Like make that connection? Like his satire, his snarky bullshit is amazing.
But look at Sean Hines. He says the next Predator movie will be called No Really, The Predator. No, AJ, you're right. But I mean, Paul Verhoeven did Total Recall, which was awesome. God, I want to say there was a third one of those big 80s movies. By the way, and one other factoid, check this out. Can you name the director of RoboCop 2?
Yes, I can. Steve, you want to crack at this?
No, because I was going to talk about the fact that you were right about something else earlier, so I haven't looked it up.
I love this episode. I'm right about a lot. No, the director of RoboCop 2 was Irvin Kershner.
Yes. How do you go from Empire Strikes Back to RoboCop 2?
Right.
Like, greatest sequel ever, crappiest sequel ever.
But
okay, this one is a little left field. Paul Verhoeven is still working, but he did Basic Instinct in '92.
Yeah, I think he also did that Ungodly Showgirls too. So he did that one.
He's still working. He had a movie come out last year. Yes, he did do Showgirls.
Yes. Nick Hartley absolutely nails it. He said he is the Squib King. Great gore. Exactly. That is why I love his stuff. I love these action movies where like the deaths are just like horrific, man.
And to prove one of AJ's points from earlier, 1992, there was a RoboCop versus Terminator comic book series.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
So...
Do you remember in WCW when RoboCop came out for that pay-per-view?
Yeah,
I forgot about that shit. Yes. Was that promoting? I think that was promoting RoboCop.
He broke Sting out of a cage or something like that.
Yes.
Oh God. Here we go, YouTube. Here we go.
Look, Sean Hines with Kirshner. How to say I need a paycheck without saying I need a paycheck? It's RoboCop 2.
Capital Combat 1990.
That's what it is. Woo-hoo. Oh my God, man! If you guys want to see some, see AJ, we need to have an old school wrestling episode. We need to talk some old school wrestling on here. If you guys want to see some great stuff, man, go look up RoboCop in WCW. That was just like, oh my God.
I'm watching it right now. They're putting Arn Anderson's putting Sting in a cage. Oh, there's Sid. There's Sid. He's holding the cage door shut while RoboCop's coming down slower than the fucking Undertaker.
What was that awesome quote by Sid Vicious? I'm not as smart as you think I am. Is that the one?
And they're all just staring at RoboCop, wondering what the hell he's doing there. And he just nonchalantly walks to the cage and rips the door. Oh no! Look at the foam bars. Oh no! Yeah. Oh no!
Nick Hartley. Shout out to RoboCop versus Terminator for Sega Genesis. I didn't know that was a thing. I wonder
if crap they made a game of that.
Wow.
This WCW thing would have been a lot better had RoboCop whipped a damn Desert Eagle out of his leg and aired that building out.
Aired the building out. Nice.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That big ass Droideka thing from fucking RoboCop 2 comes down and it starts.
Yes. By the way, if you're looking to clear out the building in WCW with a Desert Eagle or whatever, I think their writing did it in the late 90s just as well. Mm-hmm. So, all right, did we miss any franchises? And then I have an idea for our next episode.
I don't feel like Transformers really counts because those were never good to start with. They've gotten worse, but
yeah,
they had a low bar and they managed to sink lower. It's amazing when you ditch Shia LaBeouf and get worse.
Yeah,
well, I will say that's another movie franchise that I watched the first 2 and had no idea that there was like 74 more of them.
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious. Why is there 12 of those?
Oh, dude.
Oh, my God.
Oh, look. Okay, we got a couple in the. So Cam McLeish says Home Alone. I didn't even like the first one, so I'm going to agree with you there. Thrasher, he says Bill and Ted. Dude, the first 2 Bill and Ted are awesome. What is wrong with you? I mean, granted the new one's not that great, but the first 2 are incredible. They're 2 for 3.
Yeah, well, what was the new Face the Music or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was bad. That was bad.
Okay, which was worse? Bill and Ted Face the Music or Coming to America 2? The answer's easy.
I'm going to say it's easy for me. Bill and Ted was better because I never saw Coming to America 2.
Don't.
Same answer.
Okay.
Okay.
I saw a trailer for it, and I feel like that was enough.
I am not even exaggerating. I had one good laugh in Coming to America 2. One.
Ooh.
I mean, they took, because, I mean, and I'm not, it has to be dirty to be funny guy by any means. AJ, you and I are raised on the Marx Brothers and stuff like that. Like, we have very broad senses of humor, very well developed. But part of the humor of the first Coming to America was like, there's a lot of filth in there, like, hey, Stu, yo, rent Stu, motherfucker. And, all that kind of stuff, and there was absolutely none of that. Really? And it was all like family friendly and watered down. Oh, it was terrible.
It's probably because it was straight to Amazon Prime, so they had to dumb the stupid thing down or something.
All they did was like, hey, remember this character, which I'm fine with, but it had none of the humor, none of the feel, and none of the. It was god awful.
How do you do the barbershop without dropping an F-bomb?
Dude, I don't know, but it was terrible. It was terrible.
I'm glad I never watched it then.
So, Look at this. We got disagreements. Cale McLeish says Face the Music was really good, though. And Sean Hines says that was more Bill and Neo. It seemed Keanu has forgotten how to smile and play silly. Yeah, he seemed like he was like, kind of medicated for that movie.
A little bit.
Probably had to be.
I know.
When you talk about a guy who outgrew a role.
Yeah, he just seemed like he was phoning it in a little bit. There was none of that.
Speaking of Bill and Neo, Bill and Ted, I want to say 2 years ago, Kevin Smith not redid, but made a new Jay and Silent Bob movie. That one was actually
there's another
not
franchise I've lost track of.
Yeah, but that one was actually not bad because it kept following the story of the original one, and they were doing like the Blunt Man and Chronic out at like Comic-Con or something like that. It was straight to DVD. It was really stupid, but like it wasn't overly horrible.
AJ, it was Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot. That's what it's called.
Oh, here's a good one from Nick. Resident Evil. First one was cool. Downhill from there. Yeah, I would agree with that.
We just picked up the brand new one from the Blu-ray bargain bin at the store like a week ago. I'm glad I didn't pay full price for that. Dude, I had my hopes up because it was very based on the video games. I was like, cool. Like they were even showing shots that I remember from the first movie, and I could not get into that thing to save my life, though. It was so bad.
Well, I mean, dude, the first one would be amazing alone, only for that awesome scene in the hallway where they're trapped in the hallway with the laser blades, and it comes through like one, and then there's two, and then the crosshatch one, and you're like, oh, this is amazing. So, I mean, that right there is worth the price of admission for that movie. When I saw that thing come up, I was like, oh, this is so worth it.
Right.
Like, this is kick-ass.
Then they use that same damn hallway as a crutch. Every movie they ended up back in that hallway for some reason. It was just, by the time you got to the 7th movie in the franchise, it was like, there's the lasers again.
Right. Oh, Sean Hines with another good one. X-Men franchise. Yeah, the first two were kick-ass, and then after that...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate the third one like most people do, and honestly, God, I lost track of it. I don't think I've seen the last two of them. I was like,
once you get past the whole new cast and everything, they're watchable once, but you're not going back and watching First Class like ever again.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
First Class, and what's the other one?
Apocalypse.
The Apocalypse, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't there one like Dave Destiny or something? What am I thinking of?
Dark Phoenix? I think that was the newest one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Okay,
so they did 4 in the like prequel continuity then?
I believe
because there was
so.
First Class, Days of Futures Past, Apocalypse, and then I guess Dark Phoenix.
How in the hell can they get those so wrong? I don't understand. Like, all the other stuff they've gotten so right, and yet for some reason, like Fantastic Four and X-Men, they just absolutely shit the bed.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix.
There you go. Thank you, Kale. Yeah, I couldn't remember the title of that. Yeah, how is that possible? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I think Nick got it down there on the bottom.
Oh, yep, there he is. Nick says Fox blew it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
as we're going through this stuff.
That's why we're holding out hope now that Disney owns that and Marvel can get their hands on it, that they can just fix the clusterfuck that was everything about that series.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we're going to get our first confirmation in this Doctor Strange movie, so that's going to be cool.
Oh, well, hopefully they can do something with it.
Like, we got to make plans for that one, by the way, buddy. I'm there on night one if I can. Like, I want to see that Doctor Strange movie so bad.
When is it?
First weekend in May, like the 6th or something.
All right, good. So good. So it's not like the second thing that's landing the week of Celebration that I have to miss.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had plans ever since Top Gun Maverick was announced to go see it with my guitar players in my band, and they push it back twice, and now the landing date is when I'm in California, and I know my one a-hole guitar player is probably going to go without me. I want to see it. What? I'm like, we've been planning this for a year and a half, you dick.
The movie's 4 years old now, and it hasn't even hit theaters yet.
Right?
Oh, Jesus.
So, so I wonder, with these franchises we're talking about, like they get all crappy and stuff, but I feel like a lot of these franchises, they're like wrestling or any horror movie where like bad movie is still entertaining.
Yeah.
Boring movie is the problem. Like, are we just expecting too much of these movies to expect these like grand cinematic experiences and great storytelling when it's really these are schlocky, stupid ideas to begin with?
It's like watching pro wrestling after the Attitude Era. Like, once you raise the bar so high, you expect it to stay there.
Yeah.
And then it just constantly cannot meet up to that. And it just kind of goes down and down and down and down.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a franchise. The only franchise I can think of that's kind of like it. The subsequent movies are worse, but you'll still watch it, and they did well because it's like, I guess, because the concept is so simplistic. Cam McLeish says, "All right, catch you later. Off to see Uncharted. I'll be interested to get your take on that, Kale. We saw it on opening night, and I'll be interested to see what you think of it. The Saw franchise." Because the first movie really is it's an ingenious concept. And then the second one's kind of like, okay. But then after that, it's just like, a meat market. Yet you kind of watch it because you're like, all right, well, I want to see what the traps are. Like, it's just literally guys sitting in a room like, why don't we get Chester Bennington from Linkin Park and we'll have him, strapped in a car and then a big wheel comes and just grinds his face. It's, it's not great.
Is that how he died? I thought it was suicide.
Dude. Ouch.
Too soon.
Too soon. But yeah, I mean,
I guess in the end, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. All right, Nick, you got to answer important. Nick says, no, it's capitalism, baby. We're not paying for crap. Sorry, I've had a few bourbons. All right, the important question is, what type of bourbon are you imbibing in? I had quite a bit myself this past weekend.
While he types that out, apparently there's going to be a Saw X coming out next year. So we can dive further down the rabbit hole on that one. Apparently there's going to be another one.
Does that mean that there have been 9 other Saw movies?
I think if you count the remake, the Spiral movie that Chris Rock did, like rehashing the Saw franchise last year, I think technically that makes 9. I think.
Did you ever see the joke that Michael Shea told on Saturday Night Live about the Chris Rock Saw movie? He said it was on Weekend Update, and he said it was announced that Chris Rock will be doing a remake of the Saw franchise. Because it's Chris Rock, of course, it will be called Saint. It's such a good one, man. Oh my god!
But yes, AJ, Saw, and no WWF names here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Saw the final chapter. Jigsaw, and then Spiral.
Yes.
So
that's right.
If you count the Chris Rock one, yes, there's 9.
Yeah. All right.
Don't you love how the final chapter was 3 movies ago?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, well, I mean, you had that with what they did that with Friday the 13th. So,
dude, it's like
Nick Hartley's doing bullet rye old fashions. There we go. Okay, good choice. Choice.
The Saw movies are like every Kiss tour since like 1998 being the final tour.
Ozzy's No More Tours in 1992. Here we are 30 years later.
Yeah.
He's still trying to finish No More Tours too.
Yep.
Oh my God. All right. So I have an idea for the next episode. And since we're terrible at coming up with things, I think I got this idea from stuff people were saying today. We each need to come up with our list of 5 greatest movie sequels.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And I can already tell you my number 1's going to be Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money. I'm sorry, Spaceballs 3: The Search for 2. Because more Spaceballs.
Now, History of the World Part 2.
That's so yeah. Why don't we do that for the next episode? Let's each of us come up with our five greatest movie sequels. So why don't we do that, and then you guys in the chat
come up with 5.
So you guys in the chat, I know that you guys will probably all be off work the next day because our next show will be
Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Done.
Okay, it has to be the second movie in a franchise. That's a rule. You can't do this whole, everything was awesome after such and such movie, so 3 was a sequel to 2, 4 was a sequel to 3. We're not doing that. So we have to have some kind of rules or semblance of rules on this show, even though we're terrible at that. One of our rules is have working internet. The other rule is have a working cam that focuses. The other rule, have a computer that doesn't screw up half the time. See, I lumped us all.
The more you keep adding to it, the more I'm going to talk about how Speed 2 was a great movie.
Shut up. See, they could, and if they have a third one, Steve, they could just go down the Hellraiser route we talked about. Speed 3, speedier.
Right. How about Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo?
Yes, there we go.
Jigglier.
Yeah, Jigglier.
Let's just keep naming all these damn things like Hellraiser Deader. What the hell is that? Is that not the... Sorry, dude, is that not the laziest thing you ever heard? Like, what the hell?
Wow.
Deader?
These are so bad. My God.
Like, seriously, just call it gory.
Right.
Hellraiser 13, gross.
Yeah, right.
I'm waiting for Hellraiser Afterbirth. That's one that would actually work.
Ugh.
Exactly. See? It's perfect.
We'll just start naming them off. But all right, well, on that note, why don't we close up shop for this episode? Got to thank everybody in the chat. Our good buddy Cale McLeish, Nick Hartley, Sean Hines, Thrasher, all you guys, thank you for hanging out and being part of the discussion. It's always awesome when you guys chime in. Makes the show so much better. We are here again, as I said, on Wednesday, March 16th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So jump on and give us your opinion on what your top 5 favorite movie sequels are. Can be favorite, can be best. We'll have to see what road we go down, but either way, give us your list of top 5 movie sequels. Again, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. And that brings up an interesting note. That is actually not the correct link. AJ said that that's not the correct link. We've been saying it wrong for about 5 years, and he forgot to send over the correct link, and I just realized that. So don't go to that. Just go to Audible anyway, because they have awesome books. I just downloaded one about Roy DeMeo and Murder, the Murder Machine today. That's really good so far. So there's my Mafia book recommendation. But anyways, you can also get customizable Nerf Herder Council swag at shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. And don't forget, you can catch video replays of the show on our YouTube page. And if you want to download the audio version, just Google the Nerf Herder Council, and we are pretty much anywhere you get your audio podcasts. So until next time, if AJ can't pull up the link quickly enough, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, it goes to the same place for anything that I thought it was. So who knows?
All right. Well,
fair enough.
Well, Audible's free.
We've never made a dime off that shit anyway. So fuck
exactly. Well, we're not trying to. We're just trying to expose people to some culture because we have none. So until next time, I am your host, JT at Dog Pound Jedi. He is AJ
at Drake Adams 579,
and he is Steve
at apparently shitty internet.
And we will see you guys next time on March 16th. See ya.
This bucket of bolts is never gonna get us past that blockade.
This bucket's got a few surprises left in her. Plus, me and Chewie are on it. Ain't that right, Chewie?
Hell yeah, you my Nerf herder.
You my Nerf herder.